Who is the nicest celebrity you have met? I worked at a Barnes & Noble in high school. Lines Cool J lived right next to it and would come in almost daily. He knew most of our names. Really nice guy. He visited my best friend's nephew on the burn unit when nephew was 8. Nephew nearly died, had second and third degree burns over 80% of his body. Lines Cool J visited and kept in touch for a while after. Not my style of music at all, but I will always be a fan of the person he is. Lines Cool J was the balm he needed. Lines cooling gel. Dave Chappelle and his family live a few miles from where I went to college, and he and I frequented the same Starbucks. I ran into him about 10 times. One day he sat with me for about 45 minutes and talked about screenwriting. It was amazing. He's as down to earth as his stage persona suggests, and it's no wonder he opted to raise his family away from LA. Given that at the height of his fame, he took time out. I can totally see that. Anyone who would hold the lure of fame and money to take back their equilibrium and look after the well-being of themselves and their family sounds like good people to me. Yeah, people talked about him turning down $50 million as if he was penniless. He was already rich. Good for him. I mean, yeah, he was already wealthy, but $50 million is a shitload of money to anyone except maybe billionaires. Danny Devito. I ended up at a hotel bar in Philly with this girl I was hanging out with and her friend. Turns out the cast of Always Sunny was filming the 10th-ish season and staying at the hotel and hanging out downstairs. So girl's friend flags down Danny as he's walking by, and he ends up sitting with us for a solid 2 hours, buys us a couple rounds, and tries to invite the girl up to his hotel room. A weird turn, but he also introduced us to Charlie Day, so I'm calling it a win. Tries to invite the girl up to his hotel room. Shoot. Perhaps she thought she couldn't handle his monster dong with his magnum condom. I checked John Mulaney into a hotel room once. He wanted to pay for someone else's room, so he was at my desk for like 5 minutes while I set that up. He's a genuinely nice guy. I rang him up at Best Buy once, and he wouldn't stop raving about the rewards card. Jesus Christ. You'll never get that Best Buy rewards card. Having met Ulori in person, I can confidently state that he is one of the nicest and most humble celebrities out there. Not only is he completely happy to interact with his fans, but he also does so in a way that makes each and every one of them feel like they're a friend. He remembers names and personal details with amazing accuracy, and he makes each conversation seem like it's an extension of a treasured and ongoing dialogue. Add to that the fact that the man is outwardly hilarious, and you've got a recipe for a genuinely great guy. He was phenomenal in House MD, love that guy. It's funny a guy who played a sarcastic jerk is actually really a nice guy. What a legend. I met Santa at the mall. A very nice old man. He even let me sit on his lap. Hol up. Christmas music stops. Jazz music starts. What are you doing, Step Santa? I didn't actually meet him, but Tracy Morgan bought my younger sister an iPhone many years ago. Hers broke, and his GF, now wife, at the time lost her phone at the Super Bowl or something, so that's why he was at the same Verizon store. The Verizon employee said my sister's damage wasn't covered under insurance and my mom couldn't afford to buy her a new phone, and my sister I guess clearly got emotional because Tracy Morgan, who had been talking to my mom for a bit before, while they were waiting. My mom and sister had no idea who he was until my dad came in and recognized him, bought the phone for her. My mom tried to say no, but he said to just pay it forward. What a dude. Stanley. He was my neighbor for a while, and he directly wrote me letters which I now have framed on my wall. Tom Brady wasn't great, Steven Tyler was really cool / chill, but Stanley was the best by far. My aunt met Steven Tyler and said he was super chill. Except she had no idea who he was, and he was just some guy who bought a lot of the musical instruments she was selling at a charity event. She posted a video of the two of them singing together on Facebook and made a comment about how she was happy that this nice musician was making enough money to live off of. I had her go look up Aerosmith videos, and she was shocked it was the same guy. This is the cutest thing I've read about in a while. I imagine it was really nice for Steven Tyler to have just a normal conversation with another musician. This story is my favorite. Also came here to say that Steven Tyler is super nice. I met him on the street in New York as a kid and he talked to me for a long while about Aerosmith and then asked me to take his picture and did a bunch of goofy poses. Also met Steven and Liv. Both were super nice and down to earth. Extremely polite and friendly. Plus, Steven was wearing some of the best cologne I've ever smelled in my life. I'd love to know what it was, but it felt weird I was even talking to Steven Tyler. I couldn't imagine the awkwardness of asking why he smelled so yummy. I met Steven Tyler when I was 14 backstage at the 9 Lives tour. We were backstage to meet up with Johnny Lang who opened. His sister was dating my friend's dad. Steven came over on his own and started to talk us up, and he said, "Where are you guys sitting?" We told him. Then during the show, he gave us a shout out and said this song is for the young guys in the 4th row and sang Falling in Love is Hard. I walked by Anderson Cooper once in the West Village and went oh shit Anderson Cooper. As I walked past, he turned his head back towards me and smiled and winked. I'm now gay. The best ending this comment cold had. His family is filthy, New York rich, and he seems like a genuinely nice guy, which is a nice surprise, since a lot are entitled assholes. It's pretty charming though, to see him not even know his way around a kitchen at all though. It's not just any family either, it's the Vanderbilts. One of the most prominent families of American history, like the Kennedys. Just richer. Hugh Jackman. The man is Australia's answer to Keanu. Edit. Nearly 4k updates. Holy crap. Even his name does good things for people. Thanks everyone. Nia vs Wolverine. Who wins? All of us. This guy gets it. Scarlett Johansson back in 2011 at a Starbucks. Super sweet and really bubbly. Thought she would come across as a bitch or stand a fish. Partly because it was early in the morning. Like 5:30 to 6 am. Not at all. She was so nice. Made her laugh after I told her I was a huge fan of one of her earliest films, Home Alone 3, which really is one of my favorite childhood movies. She just had this charming aura about her. I cooked for her when she was filming The Avengers in Cleveland. I didn't get to talk to her, but based on the creeping we did from the kitchen she was bubbly and insisted on paying the check. My at the time chef also told me I was cooking her dinner, which resulted in extra creeping on our part as the plates left the kitchen. If she looked over she would have seen 8 cooks in an open kitchen watching her take her first bite. This is like Ratatouille. Scarlatatouille? Colin Firth. I saw him sitting in a cafe with his son. Extremely nice. I waited until they got up to leave before I went and asked if I could get an autograph for my mom, who's a huge fan. He asked me a few questions about her and wrote a quite nice autograph for her. He asked if I wanted one as well, and I told him that meeting him was more than enough. I had told him where she worked, and he went in the next day and made a point to stop and chat with her. Truly a class act. Literally love Colin Firth and this warms my heart. Weird Al. I've met him twice and both times, when he looked me in the eyes it felt like he was hugging my soul. Met him at a film screening a few years ago. I've been a fan of his since I was 8, and he's legitimately an influence in my own music/comedy. I saw him when I sat down, which happened to be right in front of him. I heard him introduce himself to some older ladies who had sat next to him. Just very genuine, like, "Hi, I'm Al." I turned around and said hello, said I had just seen a show at the Greek and said it was great, and said this is a great moment of my life, and he cracked a joke and said something like, "Well, I guess your life hasn't been that awesome," or something like that. We took a selfie and shook hands, and it was awesome. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, share the video with your friends and family, and turn on notifications to never miss a video.